Man, is Ric Flair a major fucking just bizarre psychopath, man? The man just acts like his shit don't stink, and he freaking just acts like a freaking psychopath on the Ariel Helwani show, may I tell ya. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Lucas E. Allen 1018 on YouTube and all audio platforms, the Lucas E. Allen Show, with your LimitsCenter podcast, your Friday, April 24th of 2026. For anything else, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Lucas E. Allen 1018. On today's podcast on YouTube, hit the like button today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button, you've done so already. Turn on the bell for your post notifications when it's up on this very YouTube channel. And always, feel free to leave a comment. Think of my episode, your LimitsCenter podcast, your Friday, April 24th of 2026. Once on Spotify, do the same thing. Hit me a 5-star rating, very nice as well, as also a comment as well to say at least. Been a while since I've done a LimitsCenter podcast, man. I know, it's been a while since I've done a LimitsCenter podcast. We'll be doing a Lucas E. Allen show on Sunday, April 24th of 2026. This all the big news in professional wrestling coverage for all Raw, Smackdown, and WWE Dynamite. It's discussing, but Dynamite was fucking boring on Wednesday night. What the fuck are we doing in all the wrestling? Oh my god, man. Darby Allin, your AEW World Champion, you got a good match at Tommaso Ciampa. And then you get MJF feuding with Kevin Knight for a TNT title. It's probably leads to MJF to eventually get his World Championship back at a Double or Nothing. That's not what my problem is. What my problem is why the fuck we had to go to that point. It's stupid, I know. Very fucking stupid, in my honest opinion. Anyways, let's get on LimitsCenter straight, shall we? Because WWE Night of Champions announced for June 27th in Saudi Arabia. Oh boy. Got the community up in arms, and I don't blame them. We're discussing that. Also, some backstage news on status of WWE WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. Not too hard to figure out the meet announcers Night of Champions, but whatever. We're discussing that. Also, some WWE Smackdown presentation update being discussed with roster changes. Like, that's going to make a difference. I like the roster changes, honestly. It comes down to creative, obviously, and how they produce these said talents. We'll be discussing that. Also, WWE reportedly signs New Japan talent Evil. I think I saw this right before I went on the air for today's podcast. We'll be discussing that for a brief moment or so. Listen, some people in WWE believe Brock Lesnar. Oh my god. Brock Lesnar will wrestle again? Yeah, no shit. I didn't believe so. We'll be discussing that. Also, backstage news on Joe Hendry's WWE main roster status. Be discussing that. Also, Ricky Saints' WWE main roster call-up may be delayed. Be discussing that. Also, finish off backstage news on MJF, speaking of the devil, no pun intended, is AEW status to say at least. As always, thank you for watching. LimitsCenter maybe as always, contact your LimitsCenter podcast for your Friday, April 24th of 2026. On today's LimitsCenter, ladies and gentlemen. And starting with, you guessed it, WWE Night of Champions 2026 officially announced for June 27th in Saudi Arabia. The General Entertainment Authority in Riyadh season under the leadership of the Excellences Turkey, oh god, I'm butchering this name, Alakishi, I don't know, whatever, we'll just call him TA, initials, in cooperation with WWE announced Tuesday, or it's Tuesday, whatever, whenever it's announced Night of Champions, will return to Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Saturday, June 27th of 2026. The greed of this company continues to get more and more just ridiculous. Grant, Saudi Arabia is like, it's in the middle of freaking like wars and shit, like Iran and I think Israel. I don't even understand that, that's right. I stay the fuck out of politics, and when you know me, honestly, I stay the fuck out of politics. I try my best to. But my god, man, what do we do? Just go to Riyadh for what, dude? You do the same thing you could be doing in the United States. What is so interesting to go to Saudi Arabia for? Maybe, better yet, make another international show in an international market for this. You want to really not be in the United States or United Champions? Make it something different than just Saudi Arabia. I mean, come on, man. They're going to host WrestleMania 43 next year. They're going to have 3 fucking sad events this year. Oh, great. Lovely. Probably want Crown and Jewel, too, in November, to say at least, but still. I don't like this move at all. I'd rather just do Night Champions. And I don't even need a pay-per-view in June. You already got like 2 pay-per-views in May, or PLEs, in Clash and Alien Backlash. And what you got in July? Something in July. I don't know, but still. It's not SummerSlam. Maybe, is it SummerSlam? I don't even fucking know how it is, right? Whatever. But honestly, you don't need Night of Champions this year. I mean, you could do Night of Champions as long as I don't know July PLE. I don't know. Maybe it could be SummerSlam, could not be. I don't know. I'm not sure. But Night of Champions, you can realistically do something without even going to this in the United States. In fact, I'd like to see a Night of Champions PLE in the United States again. Not some Riyadh, Saudi Arabia bullshit. Tell you that right now. Well, that's just me. That's my thoughts on this for sure, I guess. Alright, backstage news on status of WWE WrestleMania 43, and like I said, Saudi Arabia. WWE WrestleMania 43 is on track for Saudi Arabia, and the target date is being discussed to take shape. According to WrestleVotes Radio, the backstage expectation within WWE is that WrestleMania 43 will take place in Saudi Arabia, as previously planned. The target date is March 27th has emerged. It's kind of a lot early, but still don't mind that. Which would serve as the final weekend of Riyadh season, which is interesting, I guess, whatever. Don't know what that means, nor I freaking care. The weekend of April 10th is being also considered as a potential alternative. Fightful Select has a note on the format of the show. While one shift would be a one-night event is possible for WrestleMania 43, it is currently considered unlikely. Sean Ross Sapp reports that ESPN has expressed a preference for a 2-night format to continue. Thank fucking God some idiot ESPN would realize that shit. If you're gonna put like 10, 12, 14 16 matches on the card, no fucking planet should be one night. No planet. I know it's Saudi Arabia, but saying it's Saudi Arabia for extra night is debatable, but still. But that's WWE's fault for going to Saudi Arabia. It's their own fucking fault, not the talent's fault. It's the WWE fault for going to fucking Saudi. Stupid. So you want your first international Saudi WrestleMania being fucking Saudi Arabia? All the fucking greed. All the greed, people. That's all it is. But honestly, they should just stick to the 2-night format for the rest of time. As one-night WrestleManias are way too fucking long. You thought AEW pay-per-views would be long. It might be longer than any normal AEW pay-per-view. Or at least just as long as an AEW pay-per-view. I mean, come on, man. We don't want to see that at all. And the AEW should take the page out of that. Now, I'm going to say their pay-per-views every 2 nights. Maybe not all in, or like double or nothing. But at least trim the fucking matches down. Or at least trim some freaking time. Or not time, but me the point. Less matches is a little bit less matches on the show. Like 7 matches at tops, bro. 7 at tops. Maybe 8 if you want to look at all in or something like that. But still, you get me. I don't like to go into Saudi, period. Not that I'm not going to go to Saudi Arabia bullshit. No, thank you. I can't even travel to New York State by getting scared to death, honestly. That is me. 2-night format is the way to go and stay at for permanent times, obviously, for WWE's sake. And honestly, for this shit, probably even Saudi's sake. I don't even know at this rate. That's my thoughts on this for sure, if you ask me. Moving on to WWE Friday Night SmackDown presentation update being discussed with roster changes. Good. The roster, I'm going to say the roster is not the best, but you get the point. WWE is discussing a presentation update for SmackDown, though the show's visual identity is not expected to change. Oh, joy. I mean, it's creative, right? Probably. According to WrestleVotes Radio, a Fightful Select number of roster moves are being discussed for part or board a refresh of the blue brand. JC Jane and Rey Mysterio are among names that have been commented to those conversations. I love to hear JC Jane on SmackDown, by the way. I like to hear that. But they desperately could use someone like a JC, honestly. It's the main roster call. Well, there are different women on SmackDown, let me tell you, from NXT. The SmackDown theme song, set, design, and logo are expected to remain unchanged as part of any update. Great. suggesting that the refresh is focused primarily on the talent side of the equation, rather than a cosmetic result. I can't fucking speak today. Oh my god. Overhaul of the broadcast. Can't fucking speak to that. I may tell you. Oh my god, like, I like JC on SmackDown. That's freaking a much thing they need for that division on SmackDown. And it should be great for United States. It should be a fucking great Women's United States Champion. If booked correctly, obviously. Honestly, though, I'd rather even challenge Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship right the fucking bat. Granted, she's not going to fucking win, obviously. That'd be kind of dumb if you're not going to be able to win a championship. But hey, it's better than doing something like a Nia Jax for a first opponent for Rhea Ripley. It's better than that. Times 1,000 better, way better than Jay-Z compared to Nia Jax. Or another rematch with Jay Cargill, and no one has interest to see ever again, probably. Or like, what else? What else? Who's that? I'm gonna end up like maybe Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who let me out of the tag division, maybe. I think it's definitely a possibility. Especially one of those two go heel, Alexa or Charlotte. Like, who else you got? Like Charlotte, Alexa, maybe JC Jane. Hopefully, he'll get a chance at Rhea Ripley. That's my thoughts. Rey Mysterio could be iffy. Like, if you want to make him a SmackDown guy, it's fine. It's not a big deal with or without Rey Mysterio, but still. They need more creative help, obviously, definitely more than just roster members. Granted, the roster kind of sucks too on SmackDown. But the first thing and foremost is creative. You gotta worry about creative first, and then you can worry about the roster. That's my thoughts on this for sure, if you ask me, though. So some sort of breaking news right now. Not that it's a big news story at all, but WWE reportedly signs New Japan talent Evil. Who? I have no fucking clue who this is at all, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I have zero clue on who this guy is. And if he goes to AEW, I still have no idea what clue this dude is. Not joking. WWE signed former new IWGP Heavyweight Champion Evil. PWInsider.com reported the news today. If you're an Evil fan, good for you, I guess. I cannot simply care at all. Where should he start? He should be starting NXT. I don't care how old he is. I don't care where he's coming from in New Japan. Start in NXT. And you'll also be another Jeff Cobb / JC Macho Mighty. One of those guys. It's great. You'll probably get called up. Or probably, right off the bat, you'll probably be on the main roster. But still, you should start in NXT. I said what I said to say, at least. I just simply don't care. I mean, NXT, fine. You can see in NXT. That's what I want to go to. But my clamoring to see an Evil. We ever saw an Evil like a Danhausen an Evil. I'm not saying he's like that, but still. You can grab the gist and everything else. There's a little bit of breaking news to share for you on today's Limit Center. Some people in WWE believe that Brock Lesnar will wrestle again. Gee, I wonder who could figure that one out. Me, obviously. Whether Brock Lesnar is truly done with the WWE remains one of his most debated questions coming out of WrestleMania 42 weekend, and the answers appear to depend on who you're asking within the company. Go figure. According to FIFO Select, WrestleVotes Radio, based on FIFO Select, but still, there's a strong belief within the WWE that Lesnar is generally saying goodbye to when he left his gloves and boots in the ring, following his loss to Oba Femi the night 2 opening match at WrestleMania 42. However, there are others who believe that he will have one more match at SummerSlam, with natural speculation pointing to the event given Lesnar's deep roots in Minneapolis, where the show is expected to take place. At least one WWE contact has reported, fucking roll my notes here, reported that hoping Lesnar would be on the SummerSlam card, though the same contact acknowledged was not definitive at all. Now, Lesnar should be on SummerSlam. I think he'll be on SummerSlam. What he may be doing on the card remains to be seen, as I just had to do a new fucking recording because some idiot was trying to call me. I'm trying to record on my phone here. Asshole. But still. Like, Lesnar being on SummerSlam, I think he's retired at WrestleMania. I think he will retire at SummerSlam, no doubt. Like, this is truly his last year, obviously. I don't think see him making it past this year at all. He could, but I don't think he's going to want to, honestly. Him retiring in Minneapolis is probably, I don't say better than WrestleMania, but still. I just can't see WWE not doing a Gunther and Brock Lesnar match with Brock Lesnar being back for the releases this year. I just can't see him not doing a Brock Lesnar and Gunther match. I just can't see that, honestly. So waiting and find out Brock Lesnar if he makes his way back in the summer months, to say at least after WrestleMania. I think he's been gone for a little bit, honestly. I think so. And then Gunther will probably make one of his wish. Honestly, like Paulie was going to give him the retire Gunther or Brock Lesnar. So it's probably the case for SummerSlam for sure. It's probably the way he's a babyface turn if he is a retire or not. After the loss of Obafemi. That's what I think is happening. I don't think Brock Lesnar's retired yet. He'll be retired by SummerSlam, definitely. I definitely see him retiring at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, to say at least. If you update on Brock Lesnar, and he'll not say hopefully, but if he comes back or not, going forward in the podcast, to say at least. Moving on to backstage news on Joe Hendry's WWE main roster status. Joe Hendry has a new home on the WWE main roster, according to the WrestleVotes radio on Fightful Select. Hendry is officially joining the Raw roster. And Monday Night Raw roster, he's set to perform in next week's episode of Raw, which will serve as his formal introduction to the brand. I think it's a very good move for Monday Night Raw. And granted, I could see him be on SmackDown. So we rather be used on SmackDown, probably. But I honestly think he fits better on Raw because SmackDown's creative sucks. Let's just all be real. We just discussed about the changes of the roster standpoint. Honestly, without the creative department, I think he fits better on Raw. I think him on the commentary of Michael Colby freaking just something else, honestly. And plus, Joe Hendry, I think, is a guy being the same brand as Ethan Page is probably good if you ask me to a point. Especially in the mid-card, even hopefully maybe in the main event, see Joe Hendry gets the thing going in his sales and group on the main roster. But I think he's very good, potentially Intercontinental Champion. If people are not a fan of Joe Hendry, I'm a decent fan of Hendry. Am I a fan of like a lot of his Hendry supporters? No. But I don't think he's a bad pro wrestler. I think his gimmick is kind of cheesy to a point, yes. But hey, he got himself forward with that type of gimmick. You can't give him flowers for that, to say at least. But honestly, I think Raw is going to be probably a good place for Joe Hendry is teeth sink to a Monday Night Raw, to say at least. So we'll hopefully keep up on Joe Hendry, accommodations and stuff, to say at least. Speaking of potential main roster call-ups not happening, Ricky Saints, WWE main roster call-up may be delayed. Ricky Saints may not be heading to the WWE main roster anytime soon, despite the company having discussed a move. According to Body Slam, WWE as the president had internal discussions about moving Saints to the main roster, but the CW network has raised concerns about the NXT's roster depth in the wake of several recent call-ups. Wow, someone has a brain in the CW tour. Do you realize that? I am stunned by that, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, seriously, with all these main roster calls for Obafemi, so I think it was more, I think he was better than Ray Bruce in the main roster more. Because he already held the NXT Championship. But guys like Javon Evans, he didn't hold the NXT Championship. Like, I mean, Ricky Saints did hold the NXT title once, but still, I don't think he was ready to make a main roster call-up yet. Ethan Page, obviously more than ready, but still. Like, Javon Evans, like, why is he already on the main roster? This man didn't hold a championship, not even a North American Championship in NXT. Like, let this man get some singles championship gold development maybe with star power in NXT, and then he could call him up to the main roster. I think he minimum holds North American Championship at minimum. Right, this man holding NXT Championship, but still. Just good old WWE for you, honestly, main roster and Triple H's obsession with some guys like in NXT. That's fucking insane, man. You know, the women, they're all women that should be called up more, like, right, JC James probably be on SmackDown tonight, even Blake Monroe, one of my favorites still in NXT. Right, her told the NXT Women's Championship too, honestly, but still. But honestly, like, Ricky Saints, I think he needs to, much as I'm a fan of the guy, like Ricky Starks was in AEW, I think he was a great pro wrestler, he's doing great NXT still. I don't know, man, something about Ricky Saints in NXT is something like just not a great fit to me. Like, he's in this comedic gimmick with Shiloh Hill. Like, what the fuck are we doing with Ricky? Like, get this man more of a serious gimmick. As he can be a heel, which he is right now, but not just like comedic, like an R-Truth wannabe heel or R-Truth type heel. But he's not like that. But still, he's more of a comedic type of guy in a heel way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of just weird what we're doing in Ricky in NXT. I hope it's better for him. He's a great pro wrestler. And he could be a very good piece for WWE main roster for years to come, but still. He up there with Ricky Saints and Elbow eventually gets called. He's going to get called to the main roster, don't get me wrong. Knock on wood. But it's a matter of when or if he gets called to the main roster eventually this year, way and final than the Staley's. Kyopa and Ricky Saints going for it, if you ask me. And finally, everyone, for your LimitsCenter podcast, your Friday, April 24th of 2026, Backstage news on MJF's AEW status. MJF's loss to the AEW World Championship to Darby Allin last week on Dynamite was not to diminish his stand within the company, but it remains a essential part of AEW's plans going forward. According to Fightful Select, people within the company have been very happy with MJF's media appearances following his title loss. A report from Self-Made PW indicating MJF is factored into next month's AEW Double or Nothing, can't freaking speak, has been confirmed as accurate, and he is also being built into AEW creative well into the summer months to say at least. Like, that's not, I'm not saying like he's gonna be like potentially like on the outside of AEW, like he needs to eventually be like out of the company. Like, that's not gonna happen. MJF's too big of a star for that to fucking happen, first off. And Tony Khan will also be a fucking idiot if he does that. But honestly, like, why would you take the title off and put him on Darby Allin for a token hometown moment that no one gives a flying fuck about besides the Washington crowd? I seriously, who the fuck wants to see Darby Allin holding the AEW World Championship? Because I know I don't, but apparently Tony Khan does, for a token title winner for 1 month to drop a title back to MJF in Queens and Long Island, where MJF's basically from. And you drop the title to MJF at Double or Nothing. Like, that makes, it's so stupid. Darby Allin should not be holding the AEW World Championship ever. Yes, his one moment he had was last year. He also climbed Mount Everest. That's his own fucking fault. It was over. It was over. It was basically like the meme like Joe Burrow has. It's Jover, to say the least. But still, man, I don't know why Darby has the championship. The guy is just a wannabe Jeff Hardy. He ain't even close to Jeff Hardy, dude. He ain't even close. Like, goddamn, bro. Why does he need to have the championship for 1 month? He should not even have the championship for 1 fucking day. Not just a fucking month. Stupid. And the Tommaso Ciampa and the match on Dynamite had to lose to Dark. What are we doing, bro? What are we fucking doing here, Tony Khan? That's my thoughts on this for sure. I think that's not saying MJF was not like the outside, like AEW, like intentionally he's gonna be out of the company. That's not going to happen anytime soon. MJF is too big of a star to have to happen to him. Or Tony Khan be stupid enough to let him go, obviously, for no stupid reason. Whatever, I guess, whatever. That is my thoughts on this situation, to say at least. Thank you all for watching your LimitsCenter podcast, your Friday, April 24th, 2026. On YouTube, Lucas E. Allen 1018, and all audio platforms, Lucas E. Allen Show. And until next time, I think I'm going to do a couple more uploads, say on YouTube and Spot, maybe 2 more, honestly, but probably an AEW Dynamite, April 22nd, 2026 review. Maybe like some like other content stuff throughout today as well, to say at least. Anyways, until next time, and trust me, definitely be next time, everybody. Peace, and everybody, I'm out. Love y'all big time, to say at least.